Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and we are back with more reactions for Marvel's What If. This time we are on to episode number 3. Episode number 2 was a big one and a great one, and in some ways, in a lot of ways, an emotional one too. Episode 2 we had What If T'Challa was Star-Lord instead of Peter Quill. What if Yondu had actually picked up? They picked him up, but then he outsourced his own orders from Ego onto his own kind of crew members, and then they just kind of assumed that a black kid and a white kid were the same just because they were human and because they had like 2 eyes and 2 ears and a mouth and all that kind of jazz. So then they ended up picking up T'Challa instead. But then because of his own kind of curiosity and his own willingness to explore, they took him on board, and he was raised a Ravager and all that kind of jazz. And T'Challa as Star-Lord is somewhat unsurprisingly like a more wholesome and more kind of helpful and more kind of soulful version of Star-Lord than truth be told, not a lot of disrespect to Peter Quill as Star-Lord, but T'Challa as Star-Lord just hits different. He just he fits the mold so much better, and he does so much more with the role of Star-Lord. He actually does so much more. He saves the universe essentially because he talked. I think unarguably the biggest thing that he did for the universe was literally talking Thanos out of snapping away half of the universe's population. He literally talked the guy down, and he managed to somewhat drop the Mad Titan kind of title and everything, and he just kind of became Thanos, and he was good, even he was helpful in that episode, and he was good, and he was actually you could actually root for him and everything. So T'Challa Star-Lord did a lot. He did a lot to help the universe, and he did a lot to help the galaxy and everything. So he was great, and we had like different kind of backstories for different characters. Unarguably, my favorite one was Nebula. Nebula just had the biggest of glow-ups. She had the biggest of glow-ups from never having, or at least like not having been completely kind of tortured or abused by Thanos in that version of the story. So she just had like the biggest glow-up, and her and T'Challa, her and Cha-Cha had some good history between them, and she was helpful, and she kind of helped him enact his plans for the Collectors. So I think in the power vacuum left behind by Thanos stepping down and not being the Mad Titan anymore, the Collector stepped into that role, and then he became the more antagonistic and more villainous kind of character in that story, so then they had to stop him. So it was a fun story. It was a really, really fun kind of take on the character and take on the thing all around. But yeah, and especially for being Chadwick's last kind of performance and his last contribution to the MCU, it was phenomenal. It was really, really fun to watch, really enjoyable, really memorable, and they did everyone involved did a great job, but none more so than Chadwick himself. So yeah, T'Challa as Star-Lord was a really great one. I think the ending still showed Peter being picked up by Ego. I think the ending showed the Ego, like just like in the movies, he still kind of goes out of his way to find Peter himself, and then he does, and Peter's working at like a restaurant of some kind. He's just sweeping the floors, and he gets picked up by Ego, and they have a whole thing going on. So these types of endings do really make me wonder, like if these open endings that they're going to connect or interweave into each other in some way towards the end, or if they're just going to be like, oh, this is also what could happen on the sideline if these what ifs did really happen, which they did in an alternate universe. They did. That is the whole point. So yeah. But now this one, I think I caught the kind of title on Disney Plus very briefly before I clicked onto the episode, and I think this one is actually to do with the Avengers. So I think this is what if the Avengers weren't around, or what if the Avengers never assembled, or just something to do with the Avengers. So yeah, I don't know if based on the first one too, based on Captain Carter's thing, I'm wondering if this season is going to give us like a whole new roster too. Maybe if what if the Avengers were different from before? What if we had like a different team, or if we had like a different crew of Avengers that assembled for the Battle of New York, or what's going to happen? But either way, it should be fun to explore exactly what happens. So yeah, that was episode 2. So now on to episode number 3 for the Avengers. So yeah, that is pretty much all I can remember that happened in the last one. Just like a really cool kind of story with T'Challa, and just kind of makes exploration of his kind of further character, having like him discovering the universe and all it has to offer, and still going out of his way to help people. And he even, I think again, I still haven't looked up the guy's name, the guy played by Jaimin Honsu, but even he went from an antagonist in the movie to him just being like the ultimate Star-Lord fanboy in that one episode, thanks to T'Challa's reputation and his goodwill and everything. So even he was just like a fanboy of Star-Lord the entire episode. So that was really a really fun twist on the character. So a lot of different things. We still had like Drax. I believe we had Drax. I don't think we had Gamora yet. We haven't had Gamora. I think we had Drax and Nebula from like the OG kind of story. So we had them, and because Thanos never did his conquest, Drax's family lived. He still got to live out his life with his wife and daughter. So he was eternally grateful to T'Challa for making sure that kind of didn't happen and everything. So he changed a lot. He single-handedly saved the universe. T'Challa as Star-Lord single-handedly saved the universe, and yeah, it's amazing. It is amazing. So yeah, on to episode number 3 of Marvel's What If 2. So yeah, on to the reaction, and as you guys will know by now, this reaction will just be the fair use version, so just the highlights and the best bits and all that kind of jazz. But if you want the full-length reaction, the one where you can watch the entire episode along with it unedited and everything, then that one will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. That'll be just as much fun. But yeah, on to Marvel's What If, number 3, episode number 3. Let's go. Austin, okay. Clark Gregg's returning. Jamie Alexander, Sif is back. Frank Grillo, Crossbones. Lake Bell, Poison Ivy's in this. Probably not as Poison Ivy, but still. Lake Bell, that's really cool. Clark Gregg and Lake Bell, easily the two I'm most excited for. Yeah. Clark Gregg, our boy Coulson's back. Oh god, is this gonna do any differences to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Is this gonna change Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in some way? Because, I mean, you can't make it any better than it already is. But, because it only keeps getting better and better. But, is it gonna, like... I'm actually anxious to what it might do. If they change the Avengers, then how's that gonna change Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I'm really curious as to who Lake Bell might be playing. Oh, wait, no. I think she might be doing Black Widow, because I heard the Scarlet wasn't coming back for that.
Remarkable people, to see if they could become something.
Yeah, she's definitely Black Widow. Yeah, Lake Bella's Black Widow. Okay, I can get with that. I can actually get with that. Yeah.
Avengers initiative on that.
Yeah, Tony and the Donut. Oh, they animated this. They actually gave us the animated version. Oh, great. So she plays two awesome redheads. I can definitely get with that.
Hit him.
Oh, there we go.
What'd you just do to me? What did we just
That's
do?
definitely not RDJ. No.
That's lithium dioxide. You okay?
Oh no, is it not working? Did you kill Tony Stark?
Tony!
Did you just kill Tony Stark?
He's dead.
You killed him?
So eager.
They killed Tony in Iron Man 2.
I see the crucible that would transform this collection of individuals into
Oh yeah, look, he's smashing him, yeah. The Avengers.
That's how things played out in one universe.
Yeah. How different is it here? Because Tony died. Apparently now we have Tony being dead. Tony died on a Monday.
Sir, we found it.
Kind of in the middle of something here, Coulson.
There he is.
Locals are getting curious.
Our
Set
boy,
up a
Philly
perimeter and tell the
Coulson.
team I'm in
Philly
the-
Coulson.
Someone inside S.H.I.E.L.D. compromised Stark's antidote.
Hydra.
I need someone
Hydra.
on the outside to
It
find
had to
out.
be Hydra.
Sure
They
you
want to
wanna
take him
another
out.
Big swing on
Yeah.
your boss?
Safest bet I'll ever make.
Yeah, Hydra had to have messed with it. And, you know, Crossbones is there too. It definitely has to be
Wow.
Hydra.
So
It has to be Hydra.
You guys are no fun. Here, mind holding these for a minute?
What?
How'd it go? Oh god, she's so good.
What? Extremely powerful, and not from around here. Electromagnetic,
084.
neutron, vital radiations, all off the charts.
We got a man down. Sound the alarms.
So good to hear his voice again. So good to hear his voice, yeah. Even though I am still watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's still good to hear his voice in a more modern, newer kind of production.
Visual on the intruder.
Yeah.
He's a Caucasian male, mid-20s, with really great hair.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
It's an accurate description.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's gorgeous.
I need eyes in the sky. Barton.
Oh god, Coulson. Oh, even Coulson has taste.
One kill, sir. Just say the word.
Really great Disney princess hair. Just Disney princess hair.
Wilson wasn't lying about the hair. It's nice.
Oh, look at that Disney princess hair. Oh no. Oh, you killed oh, wow, why is everyone dying? First Tony, now Thor.
I did. Wasn't me.
No way, what's going on here? Did he kill Thor? Hawkeye of all people kills Thor, really? Hawkeye of all people?
First
Yeah.
Stark, now Muscle Beach. High-value shield targets killed by our own agents inside.
Barton.
Oh god, is he dead?
Barton. Coulson,
What?
get a
The,
medic.
oh, so what? The Avengers are just dying then?
Who did you let in here?
Stay with me.
Are the Avengers just dying? Tony, Thor, now Hawkeye?
If it might have been a cyanide capsule.
If he was gonna go, it wouldn't be willingly.
You think he
Jeez,
was
someone is murdering the Avengers.
My money is on the same someone who killed.
Oh, please let Nat survive. I swear to God, if these motherfuckers kill Nat in this universe too.
It's weird, but I also have a space corpse that looks like a Chippendales dancer rotting on the next table over.
Oh my God, Carson.
Wow.
Oh, does he
He's not
has
rotting. He smells like lavender.
Asgardian conditioner, Asgardian L'Oreal, Asgardian L'Oreal.
Unless you have any ideas.
Please let Nat survive this. Please let Nat survive. Oh God, is Cap gonna die too? Is Nat gonna be the only one left? Is Nat gonna be the only one capable of actually surviving this? God.
Dr. Ross, not sure if you remember
Betty
me.
Ross. Yes, Betty Ross.
Oh, I remember. It wasn't biological. Your antidote didn't even make it out of the syringe. It looks to me like a tiny projectile of some kind was fired from the needle.
You're thinking nanotech?
So the serum was never even done. Was never even used. Just replaced.
Barton's dead.
He's a lot more than just compromised now. He's a lot more than just compromised.
Who do I kill?
Looks like his and Stark's
Oh, may
murders
God
are
have mercy on whoever Fury sends Romanoff
Avengers
after.
Initiative.
Who else is on the list?
Steve Rogers.
Bruce Banner.
Oh wait, no, wait. Peggy
Under
would be,
different
because in this universe it's
circumstances,
Peggy.
I'd be flattered.
Peggy.
Move, or I'll make you move.
No need for violence.
Oh, it's
Agent
Bruce.
Romanoff.
Yeah,
That's
he's
probably
hiding in
not
the
gonna work
closet.
out for anyone.
Yeah, Mark returned. Mark Ruffalo returned, yeah. No, no, what's happening? Oh God, what's happening? Oh, the Bifrost. The Bifrost. Oh. Who's coming? Is it Sif? Is it Lady Sif? Is Jamie Alexander's supposed to be in this? Oh no, the Asgardian army with the Destroyer. The Destroyer. Yeah, the Asgardians. And Loki. Yeah, oh, Loki's come. Yeah, Loki's come and he's brought the Asgardians with him.
You would do best to kneel before a god.
We don't really do that here, no matter who or what you are.
I am Loki, Crown Prince of Asgard, the rightful king of Jotun, god of mischief. Are you gonna take that? I'm gonna do something here.
Damn it, Fury, pick up.
Hey, I'm telling you.
Then I guess you're in luck.
The army's after him. Yeah, General Ross. General Ross will be coming soon, yeah.
Natasha Romanoff, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. I have Bruce Banner in my custody. You need to stand down.
No, oh no. Oh, yeah, now, oh, Bruce.
Who the hell opened fire?
Not us, sir. We're clear.
Bruce.
I am calling Hydra's thing right now.
Take it down.
Oh boy, oh god. Jesus. Oh. Whoa. What? He's getting bigger. Oh, is he gonna blow up? Is he gonna blow up? The Hulk just blew up. The Hulk just blew up.
Bruce, but he can't die. He can't.
Okay, if someone can kill the Hulk, then we are in serious fucking trouble.
When I find your brother's killer, you will have your pound of flesh.
Very well.
Until
you
the sun
have
sets.
until the next rise of Midgard's
Oh,
sun
until the next
to
dawn,
deliver my
yeah.
brother's assassin.
Until tomorrow
Or I
morning.
will reduce this planet to ash and ice.
Oh, jeez. Someone killed Hulk, though. That's a big step up. Someone actually blew up the Hulk.
Why not?
Is it Captain America? Was it Captain Carter? Was it Peggy Carter Rocks or something?
Wow.
Oh, it's still Steve.
Twinkle,
It's still
huh?
Steve, yeah.
No, nothing. Just me.
It's still Steve. He's still a Steve fanboy. He's still a Steve fanboy.
How did a woman who died 2 years ago access the database yesterday?
What woman?
You won't win. Not against me, not against S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh god, who is it? Natasha? Oh, they're invisible. They're invisible. Oh no. Please, no, not Natasha. Come on. Not at least in this universe, let her stay alive.
Fury, it's hope! It's all about hope!
Hope? It's Hope? As in Hope Van Dyne? Wait, the Wasp? Are you telling me the Wasp is doing all this?
It's hope.
What?
It's all about hope.
It's Hope. Hope Van Dyne.
It's hope. There's still one name left, sir. Yours.
Oh, he's a candidate in the initiative too.
I'm not the only Avenger left.
Captain Carter, or is this still a universe where Steve still became the captain? Is he still Thor? Well, he's still. Oh no, Captain Marvel! Captain Marvel! Captain Marvel!
So our last hope.
Captain Marvel! Is he gonna call Captain Marvel down?
Not sure.
Because they
Either
can't
make a
kill
pact
Captain
with
Marvel,
God
right?
Or deal with the devil.
Tell me Natasha's still alive though, please. Come on, tell me Natasha's still alive. San Francisco, California. San Francisco. Hope Van Dyne. Hope Van Dyne, yeah, beloved daughter, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, Hope's dead.
Oh, don't worry about her. I doubt she'd mind, considering she's dead.
She died because S.H.I.E.L.D.
Is he the Yellow Jacket?
She died because of you.
Is Hank the
Hope
Yellow
Van Dyne
Jacket?
was killed on a mission.
You filled her head with nonsense about protecting humanity and saving the world. You just left out how'd she die the same way her mother did. Doing S.H.I.E.L.D.'s dirty work.
You took everything from me.
He's the Yellow Jacket. He flew in and killed him.
To witness everything
And he
that
nudged
was
his
worth
finger.
for.
He nudged his Yellow Jacket single-handedly kills the Avengers, and he expanded him.
Die.
No, tell me you did not kill Natasha.
Prince of Asgard. You murdered him because you could?
His death was a favor.
Yours will be a triumph.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh god, Nick Fury versus the Yellow Jacket. No. Oh, he's got moves. We never saw him doing that in the movies. Never saw him doing that.
Well, come on then. Kill me.
Oh.
How are you,
Oh, is it Loki? It's Loki. Yeah, he pretended to be Loki. He got Loki to shapeshift as him. It's Loki. Oh, it's Loki. Yeah, it's Loki pretending to be him. Yeah.
People willing to give their lives for something greater than themselves. To save the world from men like you.
Yeah, now he's under arrest.
Agent Hope Van Dyne understood that.
Well, this was an absolute pleasure, Director Fury.
Good. Now take your hammer and get off my planet.
About that, we should be allies.
Oh, now you want to be
Just
allies.
an idea. I was thinking I might extend my stay here on Midgard.
For how long?
For the weekend? Is he going to spend the weekend on Earth? United Nations? Are they going to do some pact with Asgard? Are they going to do some kind of, like, extended treaty or something with Asgard?
The nations of Earth have put aside their differences and united under my command.
Oh,
The
good
unspoken truth
God.
of humanity that you crave subjugation. The bright lure of freedom hobbles you.
Yeah, the same Avengers speech. The same Avengers speech. Oh, Natasha's
The
dead
Avengers
too.
fell before they had a chance to rise. May they rest in peace.
They can, but we won't.
I believe that in this universe, as in every other, hope never dies.
Steve, Captain America. Yeah, so
As
Captain
long
America's
as
still in
someone
this
keeps their
universe.
Good eye.
So, where's the fight?
Captain Marvel! Okay, so we get both of them. We get Captain Marvel and Captain America. Okay. Oh boy. So yeah, Fun one. Yet another fun one. Yet another very fun one. So this was What If the World Lost Its Mightiest Heroes? What if the world lost its Avengers? Minus Captain America at the very end. Cap Shield still frozen nice. And Captain Marvel too. So we still have our like if we have nothing else, we still have both our captains. So that is cool. But yeah, this was a really fun one. Like a surprisingly dark one too. Like a surprisingly like a definitely like a murder mystery race against time kind of episode, which I really loved. So that was really fun to get into. And yeah, so I think we had I think one thing I want to talk about, we had Lake Bell returning as Black Widow. I think as soon as I saw her name, I was like, oh my god, we have same voice actress for Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, and she is amazing as Harley Quinn. Not as Harley, she's amazing in Harley Quinn as Poison Ivy. So she's amazing as Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. So I just really love her work on that. She's a really great voice actress and a great actress in general. So seeing that she was in this too, and I think almost soon after I was like, wait, who could she be playing? But then I remembered, I actually read Scarlett Johansson would not be returning to actually play Natasha Romanoff in the What If thing, and I think because that news was revealed more recently, and especially after the whole kind of Scarlett versus Disney stuff about her contract and the money and everything, because it came out like just after that news, people thought, oh, maybe this is Disney's way of getting back at her or something. But this stuff was produced years and years back, so this was already like a preset decision back. I think this also might have been produced for her. The production of this might have come around just after Black Widow 2. So then for her, her doing Black Widow was her final actual outing, and then she decided not to come back or something else. But yeah, but either way, it's not in conjunction in any way with her well-founded issues with Disney and all that jazz. So, so she was not returning as Natasha for this one. So they got Lake Bell instead, and yeah, again, I love that. I love that casting. She really fit in. So her voice is so. I think it's really well recognizable that it's Lake Bell, but then her voice, her tone, because I think it's also very, very similar to how she does Poison Ivy. With Poison Ivy, she's not like an assassin or anything, but she still has that kind of at times monotone, kind of deep and sometimes deadpan kind of stuff. Even with her sarcasm and her her lines, she really has a similar kind of deep and brooding kind of tone for her kind of character work on there. So with this one, it fits really well with this. She's a great voice actress for Black Widow. I think I would, if they make any more animated stuff for the Avengers in the future, I would happily listen to Lake Bell actually voicing Black Widow in the future too. So great casting choice, and I really loved her on this. I mean, you know what? Yeah, again, really would have preferred that they keep her alive in this one too. I think I don't know why it is. Marvel just kind of somehow now enjoys just killing off Black Widow in any universe they can. But I mean, there is another one yet to come. There is another one, I think, in what looks like a more post-apocalyptic kind of thing where she has different armor and like a shield, like we saw in the trailer. So there is one out there that still fights to stay alive and everything. But with this one, apparently Natasha died again too. So yeah, guess we just have to move on from that one. But either way, Lake Bell, fantastic job as Black Widow, really, really great job. And I think I'm also glad that they actually utilized her skill sets and her kind of training to make her last as long as she actually did, to actually get that message up to Fury and to actually get him to be aware of what it was. So she still lasted longer than others, and she was still kind of great at what she does, and just still kind of showcasing herself as one of the most powerful Avengers. So that was cool. But yeah, Lake Bell as Black Widow, top notch, and equally top notch. We had Clark Gregg back as Phil Coulson as an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. So yeah, I think this would definitely change Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think this would just. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just doesn't exist in this universe. I mean, it probably doesn't, because it probably doesn't, or at least it might not exist in the same way. It might not, because I mean, no, I think it wouldn't, because I think it wouldn't exist in this universe, would it? Because I think the whole the whole reason it was kickstarted was because Coulson died, but then he was resurrected, and then season 1 was a mixture of his resurrection storyline and the secrets behind it, and also the Winter Soldier stuff. So then with this, it just doesn't. It doesn't happen with the same. I think I don't know. I don't know what other story. I mean, I mean, it was still. I think it could still happen with the Winter Soldier stuff. I think the Winter Soldier stuff was when it really kind of just skyrocketed and it actually kicked off and everything. But then I think maybe the clairvoyant stuff could still happen. The clairvoyant stuff could still easily happen. But then, so yeah, I think none of the original Coulson stuff would happen. But then the clairvoyant thing. I mean, well, no. I don't even know if the clairvoyant thing would happen because I think that was still kind of somewhat exclusive to his to Coulson's resurrection, right? Because then that was Garrett wanting to know exactly what brought Coulson back and what, you know, like him wanting that for Project Centipede. So even the clairvoyant stuff wouldn't be a thing. I think that was pretty kind of that was actually founded. He made it way back when for Project Deathlock, but then he like in that time too, like when Shield started. When Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started, like he then moved into wanting to know what kind of like what was used to bring him back from the dead and what helped him stay alive and everything. So yes, I think the clairvoyant stuff might not happen in the same way. It might happen in like a different way. I mean, he'd be like I mean, Garrett would probably still be there. He'd probably still be like an agent of Hydra undercover. So then that kind of stuff would probably still, and it would probably still happen. It would probably happen in like an easier way or like in an earlier way too. Because then in this one the Avengers are dead, so then Hydra has that much less kind of standing in their way and everything. But regardless, we got Coulson back. And he was, and yeah, I think hearing Clark Gregg's voice in this too. I think again, like watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, you know, I'm essentially playing catch up. It's what's way back then, and I've got plenty more to go. But with this one, it's a newer, fresher, like more kind of newer release. It's a newer product and everything from Marvel. So having them actually bring Clark back to voice Coulson in this fashion was really, really cool, and actually hearing his voice in like a more modern, like in like a newer thing as well is really, really cool. So I'm really glad Clark actually agreed to come back to this and everything. So yeah. Oh, you know what I want to see, right? You know what I want to see. I mean, they probably wouldn't do this. I think, yeah, they probably wouldn't do this. But I'm just gonna say it anyway. I would really love it if they actually did like a what if the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fought the Avengers battles. What if the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. saved the, like, what if they fought the Avengers battles? And then, like, I mean, the Loki thing probably wouldn't happen anymore. But then, like, well, actually, no. Well, now this just kind of removes all of the Avengers battles. I mean, well, yeah, okay. Well, I mean, like in a separate universe where the Avengers were like, were maybe either still a thing or like if something else happened. But I think, what if the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually cross over into the MCU and if they actually fought the Avengers battles? And maybe like, what if they did Age of Ultron? I mean, they already had a major contribution. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. definitely already had a major contribution to the MCU in Age of Ultron. You know, bringing in the Helicarrier as part of the Theta Protocol. But you know, I don't know. I just want Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. content in the MCU. I just want that crossover. It's too late now. It's never going to happen. This is just Marvel messing around with things in ways that they're comfortable with, where they don't have to worry about where they can create their own canon. But I want my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the MCU. Damn it. But no, I think seeing Coulson back was definitely good, and I think I'm very curious as to how this one's story might continue as well. Like again, like just generally how they might move forward with like a new Avengers initiative, like because then we have different. Well, I don't know, because now I mean, Steve is in the ice, but then Captain Marvel is still. So we have two captains, and then that's so far just it. But I think in this universe they could probably still go for other heroes too. They could go for I mean, maybe I don't know, probably not Spider-Man because he'd still be a kid around this time. Yeah, he'd be younger than he was in Civil War around this time, so I think he probably couldn't go for him. Black Panther, they could try go for Black Panther, maybe, I don't know, maybe, Scott Lang, if he suits up as Ant-Man instead, then he could do it, but I don't know, I mean, all of a sudden I'm just kind of forgetting what other Marvel heroes there are, because I think, besides from these guys, they didn't, until Phase 2, they really didn't introduce any other kind of heroes until Phase 2 and Phase 3, like Ant-Man, I mean, but Scott Lang, if that suit is even a thing, because I don't know if this version of Hank even, but this version of Hank clearly never bothered to come up with an Ant-Man thing. He just turned into the Yellow Jacket, so there was that. So then no Scott Lang. So yeah, very minimal heroes. I think unless they can try and do like a different kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if they could do what if to do like mutants, or what if mutants were the Avengers instead? What I think not necessarily the X-Men, but what if the or like I don't know. Maybe if they're swapped around, maybe if you get rid of the canon Avengers and then bring the X-Men in, and then instead have like what if instead of the Avengers we had the X-Men, so it's like the Avengers Initiative, and then so the idea, the sentiment of the idea, and then in the end the concept of it still works, but then you bring in the X-Men instead. Like, I mean, hey, look, Marvel has the rights now; they can easily do that. And I think bringing in bringing in properties like the X-Men and the Fantastic Four in a What If would be a really cool way to introduce. Because then again, like this is meant to be like a whole collection of really extravagant ideas and adaptations. So you really wouldn't have to worry about how it fits in and where. But if you want to do like a first-hand introduction just for the fun of it and just to see how audiences react, then that would be great. Like what if the Avengers never existed, but instead we still had the Fantastic Four or the X-Men or something? So that would be really cool. That would be super duper cool. I mean, assuming that season 2 of What If comes out before either of those movies does, then maybe that's how they could do it. Maybe that is actually how they could introduce it. Maybe actually kind of like gauge audience reactions and gauge different kind of introduction styles with a What If, and then actually make it more official. Or that much more official with the actual movie releases whenever they happen. So yeah, so then maybe I don't know. Maybe Coulson could be in charge of that too. Maybe Fury still kind of recruits them, but then Coulson is still in charge of maybe Coulson actually kind of leads or recruits or monitors the X-Men or the Fantastic Four. Maybe he actually works with the Fantastic Four. And then maybe they can still bring in Fitz and Simmons. Maybe they can still bring in the S.H.I.E.L.D. team in some way too. Maybe they can actually still bring in the S.H.I.E.L.D. team in some way. Maybe actually having Fitzsimmons kind of incorporated with the Fantastic Four in some way. Because oh my god, okay, I'm about to I just had an idea, and it's gonna sound so far fetched, and I honestly, I still want to say, I still want to be able to say, I still want to be able to express this idea, but honestly, right? What if, like, okay, so this probably, I don't know, this probably wouldn't be the official casting. This probably wouldn't be the official casting for the movie itself. But in the what if they had Ian DeCastica and Elizabeth Henstridge playing Reed Richards and Sue Storm? What if they actually had them? Like, I think I could definitely fucking see that working. I could really fucking see that working, because Ian can do a great American accent. I think season 1 he did very briefly do an American accent. I'm sure he could train himself locally to actually perfect it, and then Elizabeth could probably do the same. But I mean, what if Ian DeCastica? I mean, what if they played them in the actual what if? What if they actually played Reed Richards and Sue Storm, and then they were part of the Fantastic Four? I mean, again, thinking it in my head, it sounded cool. Saying it out loud, it's like, wow, that's a bit of a stretch. No pun intended, but that's a bit of a stretch. But I don't know, just still, I think, having them brought in to consult with the team is one thing, but then having them actually play them is another thing. Because then, I don't know. Because then, I don't know. Because then, I honestly don't know anyone, like, regardless of whether or not they've actually watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't know anyone who's gonna, consciously or willingly move past the whole kind of fan casting they've already got going on, like John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Reed Richards and Sue Storm, because that is the most kind of popular fan cast I've seen, to the point where even Emily Blunt had that one interview where she was just like, oh, people keep asking me this question, and it's like I don't really have an answer for them, and stuff like that, and everything. But I feel like for a what if, that could really kind of somehow work. I feel like for a what if, not only could they bring in the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, but I think they could they could still have these kinds of things. And I think it works better in a what if too, because these are meant to be alternate universes, like an alternate universe where Ian doesn't play Fitz, or Jem and Elizabeth doesn't play Simmons, but then in like an alternate universe they actually are instead these people. So I feel like that could. I could definitely see that happening. I mean, not only could I, but I actually want to see it happening, but I don't know, just kind of a thought in my head. So I mean, I don't know, maybe it sounds stupid, maybe it sounds far-fetched or something, I don't know, but either way, just a little kind of, kind of like an imagine of minor scenario that just kind of played out in my head. So maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But either way, we had Clark Gregg back. We had Clark Gregg as Coulson back. So Clark Gregg, he was great in this, and he was in love with Thor, and he was still. I think the one thing they maintained was that he was Steve obsessed. He was still obsessed with Steve. He still had his parts of being like I Steve Heart Steve 074 or something like that. So he was still like ever obsessed with Steve, so ever obsessed with Steve Rogers. And he then also kind of I think the one thing I don't remember from the movies was him now having like a newfound kind of love for the God of Thunder himself. He had a newfound love for Thor. So yeah. So then he just like him being like his immediate description being like, okay, Caucasian, white male, like 6'5" or 6 foot, whatever, and he's got gorgeous hair. Like, Fury, you should really come and see this hair. It's some fucking Asgardian L'Oreal type of shit. Like, you should really. And even though shot by Thor actually waves his hair as he walks up to the hammer too. So Thor, yeah, I mean, Thor's hair has been a point of admiration and kind of like respect. Well, not respect, but like a point of admiration and kind of beauty in the MCU. Like Thor's hair has just kind of evolved. I think it's definitely evolved from like a really really light blonde to a darker, more dirtier blonde as the stories have gone down. And because I remember watching Thor 1, like even his eyebrows are blonde. Even his eyebrows are blonde in Thor 1. But then come the Avengers, his eyebrows are his natural hair color, and then his hair is like a darker-ish kind of like it progressively gets darker, like not going straight from blonde to brunette or anything, but still progressively gets darker. And then by the end he has it more braided and everything. So he starts off as starts off like Disney princess blonde, and then actually goes down into grittier, somewhat more brutish kind of Thor, kind of dirtier blonde. So. And I think I feel like a similar-ish thing happened for Steve too. I feel like because I remember in the first movie, in First Avenger, I feel like he had a darker blonde in the First Avenger, but then as he progressed, I think in Winter Soldier his hair looked lighter. I think that could be because there was less of it. He actually got like a fresh trim, and then I think that allowed more of the inner kind of root color to come out and everything. And then like in that one, it looked relatively lighter. But I think Steve has always had like a dirty blonde thing, and at least in the movies. In the movies, he's always had like a dirty blonde, kind of darker kind of shade and tone to it. But then in the comics, he's always been drawn having that kind of golden blonde hair, just like Thor, like the golden blonde boys and everything. So yeah, but yeah, Coulson being in love with Thor and his hair and just being just in like just speechless over it was just like a whole other thing that I loved. I love that they brought him in, that he just loves and admires all these kinds of male heroes, and he just kind of just can't help but stare at them and everything. So. And even when he's there, he's still kind of leaning in to sniff his hair and being like, "Wow, even in death, he still smells like lavender and everything." And then even Fury, peeks in to get a sniff too. So yeah, I mean, I think that one too reminds me of like in Infinity War when the Guardians first discover Thor. It's like he's not dead, then he's just passed out, but then they're still kind of admiring his body and they're still admiring his appearance, and he's like like Drax being like. It's like if a pirate had a baby with an angel, and it's like Gamora being like his muscles are made out of like some alien metal. They're so strong and buff and everything. So everyone across the MCU just loves Thor. Even I think to this day I cannot ever forget, and also because people just keep reposting it. Like I can't forget in the same movie in Infinity War, like Peter Quill describing Thor as like tall guy, not that good looking, and then Peter Parker's like, excuse me. Thor Odinson, Thor the God of Thunder, not that good looking. Do you have eyes? Do you need to go to Spectacle or something? Have you seen Thor Odinson? You think he's not that good looking? You need to get your eyes checked and everything. So everyone in the MCU just loves Thor. They love him. He's a giant, warm, cuddle, like a cuddly looking guy and everything. And he's just also he's handsome. He's handsome as all hell. Like no matter what you're into as well. Like no matter if you're straight, if you're gay, if you're bi, like whatever. No matter your sexuality or who you are or whatever. Everyone loves Thor. That's the one thing people can get with. Everyone loves Thor. He is just like he's attractive to basically everyone, to basically everyone, and for some people they even he even gets people questioning their sexuality. So he's just he's an all round beautiful kind of being and stuff. And I think part of it is also due to Chris Hemsworth too. I think Chris Hemsworth also helped out. I think helped out like a great deal in that too. Like he also kind of added his own kind of his own personification and his own beauty to Thor, so that really helped. But then I guess even in animation form, he's still kind of, you know, I think they can model it after like the actual kind of original appearance too. So it just works. So yeah, Coulson in love with Thor. That was great to see. That was really great to see. And they brought him back just for that too. I'm not even mad. They brought him back and they had him being in love with Thor. So that was great. That was really, really great. So yeah, we had Lake Bell and Clark Gregg return. Well, Lake Bell coming in for the first time and doing a knockout job, and Clark Gregg actually returning to the MCU and also doing a knockout job. So hats off to them both. So yeah, but yeah, then the actual story. The actual story just followed the Avengers, or at least most of them, getting picked off one by one. And yeah, so first Tony died, and I think it kind of seemed like someone had like messed with or replaced like Natasha's original kind of treatment for his kind of element poisoning with something else, and he died. And I was like, wow, Nick Fury and Natasha just killed Tony. I was like, well, that's going to take a turn, but then it was actually just Natasha. It was just Natasha because she was the one who had it. She was the one who delivered it. She was the one who came up with it and everything. So then she was arrested and taken away and made to actually report to Pierce. I thought my theory the entire time, especially with you know Crossbow with Rumlow and the other Shield agents being the ones to take her away and actually even taking her to Alexander Pierce too. I thought it was going to be Hydra the whole time because I think that made so much sense. Like, wow, so I mean Hydra trying to take out the Avengers would make so much sense. Like them not wanting a team standing in the way of their future plans for world domination. That just it flicks on like a light bulb almost immediately, like an LED light bulb. It's kind of, you know, it's there. It makes sense. You know, I'm not only would I not be surprised if it's Hydra, I'm fully expecting it to be Hydra. Like that, just, you know, like it just kind of fits in. So the entire time I am just thinking, wow, Hydra is like Hydra is either using one assassin or they're sending in multiple assassins to actually sneak in from the shadows and actually kill them in ways that it can't be traced back to them too. Like, you know, because I think even with Hawkeye's on, when Hawkeye killed, wow, yeah, Hawkeye killing Thor, yeah, like because with Hawkeye killing Thor, I thought it was going to be a case of like there was going to be someone else behind him with their own bow and arrow too. So then maybe like an identical arrow too, because I think Fury still recognized his arrow as Hawkeye's too. So I thought with Hawkeye would be like, you know, because I think he said he never released it, but then I thought, you know, like I think he did release it, didn't he? I think like he did release it, but then I think his line there got me all confused and stuff, and I thought, oh, maybe there's like an actual Hydra assassin behind him with their own bow and arrow, and they fired it from behind him to make it look like it was him. But then no, but then even in that case, yeah, like an arrow straight to the heart too. Like I think an arrow straight to the heart that killed him. And I think, I mean, I was gonna question like, wait, isn't he Asgardian? Shouldn't he be able to survive something like that? But then, I mean, Asgardians can still be killed. They can still be killed, especially with heart stuff, because I think the Dark Elves kind of like the Dark Elves killed Frigga with like a dagger to the heart. So Asgardians can definitely still be killed with kind of shots to vital organs. So that can definitely kill him. So then Thor died, and that was the whole thing. So then that was that, and then Barton died later on in his cell too. But I can't remember. I can't remember if in Hank's kind of previs, if they actually showed how he killed Barton. I can't remember if they actually, because they showed how he killed Thor. He actually jumped up onto the arrow and actually nudged his finger, and then that let the arrow loose. But I can't remember. I can't remember if they actually showed how he killed. Like how he killed Barton too. Maybe it was something. I think through the ear. I think didn't he go through the ear or something? I'm not too sure. I think maybe because then he was already stressed out. So I think maybe he just messed with his brain or something. But either way, you know, Hank Pym single-handedly taking out all the Avengers. I think it was never him. I mean, it was never Hydra, just Hank. So then they died, and then and then it was Hulk too. Hulk's one surprised me. Hulk's one really surprised me because I was thinking like, okay, unless you have someone unless you have Abomination or like some other kind of creature or weapon or something that can actually match the Hulk's kind of gamma kind of levels or his strength or his kind of invincibility, and unless you can match him in that way, the chances of actually being able to kill him are extremely low. Like even the army wouldn't be able to take him out. But then he actually starts growing bigger, and he actually starts expanding and getting puffier and everything. And I thought, oh my god, he's actually going to blow up. Like we're actually going to have a gory Hulk kind of explosion all over the field of the university, and it's just gonna be horrific. But then I don't know. So then that one was thingy. I think that one was I think because I can't tell if that was I can't tell if they actually said it was a bullet going through the window or if it was something else. I think because I think the soldiers even confirmed they never fired a shot. The soldiers even confirmed that they never actually fired a shot. So I think that one had to be like Hank himself flying through the window into his arm, and then he actually went into his bloodstream and actually threw an expanding disc at his heart. So then that just expanded his heart and probably everything else with it too. So all the Avengers just fucking died. Like not I think not even in like giant heroic battles where there are casualties, but they literally just get assassinated and picked off one by one, and all the candidates for the Avengers initiative are gone. So that stuff was crazy. That stuff was crazy. And then Natasha still died too. I was fully expecting that Natasha be be at least like the one person from the original candidate list to actually live. I was fully expecting her to be the one to actually live, but no, I think they were intent. I think if anything, I will admit I am glad they kept her alive until the end. Like they showed off her her own skills at survival and espionage and secrecy and stealth and stuff, like by keeping her alive until the very end, and having her be the key to actually getting the message out to Fury and everything. But still, like them just killing her off just felt like a way of lumping her in with the others. Like, oh, the Avengers are dying, so all of them have to die and all that kind of jazz. But then apparently Fury was part of the candidates list too. Like I think him coming up with the idea made him a part of that list too. But then because he was still involved with the project, I think it wasn't just simply like a candidate list of who's going to be recruited, but I think everyone involved with the Avengers initiative, recruits and otherwise, were actually on that list, and more pivotal people too. So Fury, and then all the heroes he thought of recruiting. So there was that. But Natasha dying still hits in annoying ways and everything. Like we've already seen her die once in a way that just felt really cheap and shit, and just like really just and then seeing her die again in this, I think this one felt more like her fighting to do the right thing and fighting to do the good thing. I mean, not that her thing in Endgame wasn't. I think like this one had like more of like a dramatic and more exciting element of like actual murder mystery and stuff like that too. So I think for that reason it was semi tolerable and everything. But still, I'm tired. I mean, it's only been once. It's only happened once, and now it's happened twice. It's only happened twice so far, but I'm still tired of having to watch Natasha Romanoff die. I'm tired of having to watch it. I'm tired, and I'd rather watch stories and adaptations where she actually lives and stuff. So Natasha died of the rest of them, unfortunately, but I guess that's just the way life rolls. Life's a bitch. So and then Loki actually brings the Asgardians to Earth too. So I think Loki's thing actually took like an interesting turn for me too. Like he brought the Asgardians and like the Asgardian army. He brought the Destroyer, and he brought the Warriors 3 and Sif too. I don't know if we actually heard Sif talk. I think I saw Jamie Alexander's name in the opening credits, but I don't know if we actually heard Sif talking. I don't remember like actually being able to recognize her voice at any point. I think maybe like one line here or there, but then like nothing actually prominent. So there was that, but then Tom Hiddleston definitely returned. I think not only did he return, I think when he first spoke, I think it took me like a few pronunciations here and there, like a few syllables here and there, because I think Tom has a very recognizable voice as Loki. But then at the same time, it's like with this one, I think it's also him reverting back to his Thor 1 Loki roots too. I think it's him reverting back to that, because then this isn't the Avengers, but like Thor literally. I think like the timeline of this too is that I think the timeline of this is that it also happens within the space of like a week or like 3 days or anything. I mean, the Watcher narrating mentioned 3 weeks, but then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday was the timeline of the actual events in this in this episode. So then like all of this happens within a week. Like I think Thor coming to the hammer, Tony being poisoned and stuff, and then Bruce kind of dying at the university. I think so. All of this happens essentially within the space of a week. So timeline-wise, I think especially like this, then going back to the events of the first Thor movie, like the Thor movie, like with that one, the Tom would actually have to go back to his roots too, like the more sinister, evil, kind of drawn out kind of Loki that has that kind of agenda. But then he's still mostly recognizable. He's still definitely mostly recognizable. So that was cool. But he thought he brought the Asgardians with him, and his mission was vengeance for the vengeance upon Earth for the agent, like against the agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. that killed his brother. And I think which kind of surprised me too. Like I didn't think he would be someone. I mean, they were still brothers. They still had that kind of deep brotherly love for each other, and then they still had that connection and that level of caring. But I think it still kind of semi-surprised me that like he would still, because I mean, knowing him back then, I would have thought that he would actually just use Thor's death as a way to grab that kind of power. Like, so then he's the one, like he is Thor's brother, but then he's next in line. So I think I thought, oh, maybe it'll just show us the Asgardians finding out that Thor's dead on Earth, and then Loki finding that out, and then Loki actually kind of trying to use magic and deceit maybe to actually try and grab that power vacuum, and him actually trying to fill that power vacuum, and him trying to become the next heir and everything. So then I thought that would be the way it rolls. So that would be the way it rolls, because then like Thor would be out the way, and then he would be free to try and do whatever he wanted, and then we'd see how that rolled out. But no, he actually brought the Asgardians to Earth, and he tried to get. I mean, chances are Odin ordered him. Yeah, now that I think about it, chances are it must have been under Odin's orders. I think the chances of Loki doing it himself are very unlikely too. And especially at that point, because I think again at the same time, like it's after Thor is captured by S.H.I.E.L.D., after he fails to pick up the hammer, that Loki comes in and tells him that Odin's dead, and he tries to trick him into staying on Earth and all that kind of stuff. So then he can try and actually rule and take over as ruler on Asgard. So then I think it must have like that must have been his original plan maybe, but then Odin, being Odin, he must have been like, take the armies of Asgard, take the warriors, and actually go to Earth and seek vengeance and seek justice for your brother's death and everything. So then they must have been like, great, fine, I'll take these fuckers with me. So yeah, because then even by the ending, even based on that ending, like he still he repeats his exact speech from Germany, like the Germany scene in the first Avengers movie, like his exact speech there, he repeats that all over the world. He goes into the United Nations and he projects himself all over the world, and he kind of brings his Asgardian rule to Earth and everything. So he's he then repeats that exact same speech, like, oh, you crave subjugation and humanity is made to be ruled, all that kind of jazz. He just repeats it there. So then he says, okay, well, not only will you unite and take down your borders and you'll unite as one human race, but you will also do so under my command. So you can have unity and you can have peace, but you'll have my leadership too. So then what I say goes, and you have to do as I say. So yeah, so he does that. So yeah, and he brought the Jotun icebox with him too. He brought the Jotun icebox, so that did like a lot of damage. So yeah, Loki. So that was fun. And I was definitely intrigued by the idea and the concept of an actual allyship or a partnership of some kind between Fury and Loki. Because again, I think it was either Coulson or I think it was probably Coulson that mentioned this guy Loki and his power and his armies and everything like this is the exact kind of threat, and this is the exact kind of thing that the Avengers Initiative was actually created for. This is why you came up with the idea, for a group of remarkable people to actually fight the battles that no individual or no army on Earth besides from the Wakandan army ever could. So I think that it brings an interesting twist to it in that sense too. Their first meeting with Loki then isn't him coming to Earth to ignite war or kind of trying to search for power or anything like that, but it's instead him probably under orders actually trying to get vengeance for his brother's death and doing that kind of stuff. So I think it's an interesting twist on their kind of introduction and that kind of friendship and relationship and everything. So not really much of a friendship or relationship, but like partnership pretty much, and him working with them two working with each other to actually kind of trick Hank too. So yeah, Fury and Loki and then of course by the end of it, probably I really don't know if Loki would have actually run that idea past Nick first. How about I walk into the United Nations and actually then demand that they all bow down to me or something. So I don't exactly know how that one thing led into another in that sense, but either way, it still worked. So seeing them together was cool enough. So yeah. And then, so then the true person is revealed. So then when Natasha said hope as she was dragged into the shadows, she said it's hope. It's always been about hope. I figured, wow, wait, because then when she was trying to fight the person, they looked invisible. They initially looked invisible. So I thought, oh, maybe something maybe it could have been Ghost. Maybe again, if it's a Hydra assassin, maybe it's actually Ghost, and she's just phased out reality, and maybe she's actually fighting Natasha in that sense. I mean, that was more like an internal thought that never really kind of made it out, but. Yeah, maybe it was going to be Ghost, but then I thought, but then she said Hope, it's all about Hope, and I thought maybe, so maybe it's the Wasp, because then she can minimize and she can easily kind of fight and fly around and fight and punch and do all that kind of stuff, so maybe it's her. So then apparently Wasp has some kind of beef or some kind of bone to pick with S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers, so then maybe she's then, and then I think once Fury then figures that out, he then goes to Loki, he initially goes to Loki and, talks to Destroyer and and asks to talk to Loki's, and they have a meeting, and then afterwards Fury goes to Hope's grave out in San Francisco. So then once it said San Francisco, California, and actually showed the bridge in the kind of background too, I thought, oh, maybe this actually has something to do, and there has to be something to do with Hope Van Dyne, aka the Wasp, but then the gravestone said Hope Van Dyne. I was like, okay, so it still is to do with her, but it's just not her doing the actual killing. So I thought, okay, what could this be? Could this be Scott? Could this be Hank or something? And then it is actually Hank. It's Hank, and it's not only just Hank. It's a far more evil, more vengeful Hank too. So this is a Hank that likely not only never met Scott Lang, but I think, and also probably because because it provides a different backstory for both Janet and Hope too. It's one that never really kind of needed to. It's because they have a different backstory. They just almost instinctively never cross paths with Scott. They never had that kind of plan to be hatched, but instead Hank himself goes crazy with grief and vengeance and anger and everything, and then he ends up creating the Yellow Jacket himself, and he becomes the Yellow Jacket too. He becomes the Yellow Jacket, so that was a really cool twist, seeing him in the Yellow Jacket suit flying around and doing the killing, and then all the previous kind of answers come up as to how he killed the other Avengers. So just twist upon twist upon twist, and then it's revealed that he's angry because Hope and Janet were both S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Janet initially was a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, and then she was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and worked as a hero. But probably she was probably the Wasp. She was probably the Wasp herself, and then she died out on a S.H.I.E.L.D. mission. She kind of died, probably gave her life or got killed in action and stuff. So then that happens, and then he lost her, and then he was only stuck with Hope. But then Hope went into S.H.I.E.L.D. as well. Hope became an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then she died, he lost her, so then, I think you can't really kind of ignore or discount the toll that takes on him, because first he loses his wife, and then not only does he lose his wife, and then he's only got his daughter left. I think after that you probably can't also deny that he probably would have been paranoid too, he probably would have been paranoid of losing Hope in the same way, but then inevitably she ends up actually joining S.H.I.E.L.D. and she ends up getting killed the same way, so he lost both of his daughters to S.H.I.E.L.D. using them for their missions, and at least in his eyes he S.H.I.E.L.D. weaponized them and used their powers and their suits for their own gain and doing all that stuff. So then he blames them, so then that grief and anger sent him into rage, and he became the Yellow Jacket, and then after that he garnered a hatred for the Avengers, and he garnered a hatred predominantly for S.H.I.E.L.D., but then he found out about the Avengers initiatives, and then he starts going around murdering all the actual candidates and everything, or as many of them as he can and stuff. So so Hank Pym is the Yellow Jacket in this one, and so I think they're definitely kind of I think what also intrigues me about Wasp and about Janet and Hope being S.H.I.E.L.D. in this too, is that I think even canonically, in the comics and even in earlier animated adaptations too, I think even in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, in that animated show, I think even then Wasp, Hope Van Dyne Wasp was that, I think, was that Hope? I think that must have been Janet, because in that one we still had Ant-Man, or at least Giant Man, and he was Hank. That was Hank. Hank Pym was in that, and he was Giant Man and Ant-Man. But then we also had Janet. We also had Janet Van Dyne. She was Wasp. She was actually the Wasp and everything, so she was still there. And then in that one, they actually had a somewhat more canon origin for the Avengers too, them being the Avengers and then Cap being thawed out and then him joining them too. So I think canonically speaking, I think, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think in the original comics, Ant-Man and the Wasp have actually been in the comic, have been in the Avengers from the start. They were also original kind of co-founding kind of members, along with along with Thor and with Tony, because I think even in the comics, the Avengers were still brought together to actually fight Loki as well. I think their first battle, their first formation was actually to fight Loki as well in the comics. I think that's one of the adaptations the movies got right. So then with this one, I think they definitely kind of changed it up to be like, okay, so in this what if, they're not necessarily Avengers, but they did still work for Shield. They were still a part of that world. They did still fight those kinds of battles. They were Shield agents, but they never really became Avengers. But then because of their work as Shield agents and because of their loss and everything, it actually sent Hank into this raid. So I think having that connection, having that kind of twist, making that kind of more comic accurate kind of path for those two characters was really cool to see. I think even in the movies, even in the movies, even in the movies, they did show that Hank was a Shield scientist. He was like in the movies, in like the very first opening scene, like the opening scene of Ant-Man 1 shows that shows Hank kind of somewhat defecting from Shield after they tried to steal his formula, but then it showed that Hank was still a Shield agent back then too. So I don't know. And then I think the flashback in Ant-Man 1 showed Hank and Janet as the Ant-Man and as the Wasp actually doing like a mission for the government too, like they're actually trying to stop a nuclear missile from landing somewhere. So I think it showed them doing like a covert ops kind of thing. But then I don't know if that was for Shield or if that was actually just for the US government as a whole, or if that was like a contracted kind of thing. But either I think definitely after that, because I think the opening scene, by that time Janet was already dead. So I think by that time, I think maybe afterwards he maybe left the US government, and maybe in that one too he actually left field ops as a whole, and then maybe he actually just kind of went into Shield and tried to do more science stuff and everything. So yeah, but then in the movies, Hank actually did used to be like a Shield scientist, so he did still work with them. But then with this one, I think with this one it could have easily gone the same way. But then actually, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know if they mentioned that this one was actually Shield scientist, but I think they did. They did kind of clarify that Hope and Janet were both Shield agents too, and then they actually did field ops, and then they both died and everything. So Hope's gone, Janet's gone. So yeah, now Hank has been arrested for crimes against Shield and crimes against state. So yeah, that is Hank Pym's story. So by the end of it, the only Avengers left alive are Fury and Coulson, and then of course, I was constantly wondering, is this what if in any way connected to the what if from Captain Carter? Because at the end of Captain Carter, we see Fury and Hawkeye meeting Peggy at the end, because she gets transported in the future through whatever kind of reason, and then she actually meets them, and then the war's over and everything. So I was wondering, could this then be connected to them in any way? But then no. But then this one is yet another kind of original take, with Fury and Hawkeye and Widow and everyone and stuff. So yes, with the end of this one, Fury then actually goes out and he himself kind of discovers, or he goes out to the dig site where they've discovered Captain America, and they've actually kind of it's still his shield with the star and the stripes and everything. So it's his shield. So Steve is under there, and then he also calls it. I think as soon as he actually pulled out the actual kind of the pager thing, the upgraded pager thing, I knew, okay, that has to be Captain Marvel. So I think it's like then at that point it's like, okay, I don't know if we're gonna get Captain Carter or if we're gonna get Captain America, but then the one thing we definitely will get is Captain Marvel. One of them we're gonna get out of any of them, or we're at least gonna confirm to get one of them. We're definitely gonna get Captain Carter. So then in this case, we now have Captain America and Captain Carter, and Captain America is ready to be thawed out. So that I think maybe Carol herself could actually have some kind of a helping hand in thawing them out, maybe using her powers to melt out the ice or something, or something else. But now I think now with all the other candidates dead, in this story at least, he might have to just kind of draw up a new draft. So I think he will have to have. I think this is where like an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing might actually come in handy, because then with most of the Avengers dead and only two powerful beings left in existence, with two captains and two powerful superpowered beings left in existence. I think as powerful as they are, I feel like this is also this is also another situation where an actual team like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would come in handy, now. So now because then you know, like as powerful as they are, they can't really. I mean, they can't very quickly be in more than like be in 2 places at once. You know, I mean, they could probably they could probably split up and actually do different operations and still kind of handle themselves well enough. But then at the same time, it's like, you know, a team would still be nice and everything. So, you know, for the Shield pay grade level missions, they could easily assemble the Shield team and stuff. And I don't know if the story would go the same, if they would still have war, or if the Hydra thing would still happen. I mean, because like Rumlow and Pierce still being in this universe still kind of makes me feel like, okay, well, Hydra still kind of must be present in this and still waiting for their chance to shine and everything. But yeah, I don't know. But no, I don't know. So yeah, I mean, we have Captain America and Captain Marvel too, so that much is for sure. But yeah, that is that. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've picked up. That's pretty much all the notes I have from this and all the kind of like, you know, like initial kind of thoughts I have. I'm sure something else will come into mind after I finish recording this and later on and everything. But for the most part, again, just a really, really enjoyable what if, a really enjoyable twist on the story, and a really kind of I think again like this one had a really great kind of murder mystery tacked on to kind of Race Against Time kind of vibe that I really love. So I just love how they executed all of this and executed the Avengers while they were at it and everything. So a really fun twist, and I think again like that definitely makes me want to see more, like, you know, what would the world be like without these Avengers, or like, you know, like what would the kind of like a secondary draft of the Avengers team look like, who would be a part of it, who would be in it and stuff. So these are connections and open ends that I feel like I mean, I personally would like to see answered, or at least, you know, maybe if Marvel are leaving it up to the fans to fill in the gaps, or maybe if it all culminates into one thing at the very end, I guess we shall see. But either way, very cool stuff, very, very cool stuff. So I can't wait to see what they've got next in store and what other Avengers stuff. And I think I can't wait to see the next episode with Natasha too, the one with, you know, like in the future with her shield and her new body armor and everything. So that'll be fun. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have. So that was Marvel's What If Season 1 Episode 3. So as always, thank you guys so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Marvel's What If, and leave your thoughts on how you felt about this, and who you would pick to be like a secondary draft, or who you'd want to see, and stuff like that. Once again, the full-length reaction for this episode will be available on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. And yeah, that is it. So I will see you guys next time.